Now that we have all of the content set up on our site, we're going to do two more things to further ensure that we've properly upgraded from Drupal 6 to Drupal 7. First, we're going to create a view of events, and then with that view, we're going to create a block display that lists events in the sidebar. So when our Drupal 7 site is in place, if we see the block and we see the view in the block, we know that we've properly migrated our views and our blocks. So let's go to Site Building, Views, Add. We'll call this view Events. For the view description, this is a list of events. Simple as that. View type is node. We'll go to Next. And now let's configure this view. We'll start with our filters. First, we're going to check for whether the node is published. Then we're going to check the node type. Let's add these two filters. For node published, we want it to be yes. And then for the node type, we want is one of event, because we're only going to be showing events in this view display. Now we need to set our fields. For the fields, let's just take the title of the event and the date. So we're going to go to node title and content date. Notice we have options here to choose from date or to date. We only have to select one of these because date allows you within the configuration for either of these to display both the from date and the to date if that's what you're wanting to do. So we're just going to select from date for now, and then we'll change that in the configuration. Click Add. And here we're working with the from date field. We don't need a label. And here, under Format, notice Display From and To Dates is selected. We're going to leave that as is. Everything here should be fine. Just change the label to None. Click Update. And now we're working with the node title. We're going to remove this label as well. And then scroll down. And just to make sure that link this field to its node is checked, all of this other configuration should be fine. Click Update. And let's reorder these so that the title shows up first. And let's go ahead and save. Now let's check our preview to make sure everything is working fine. Here we go. Here we have the event and then the date range of the event. And this event and the other date range of the event. Let's make one more quick change. We're going to change our sort criteria to look for the dates, and we're going to sort them ascending so that the earlier events, the ones upcoming first, are listed first. So very quickly, sort criteria. We're going to scroll down and find date. We're going to do from date again. Add that. Sort order ascending. There we go. Now we have DrupalCon first because that comes up in May, and then OS Training's Drupal event in July. Let's save that again. And then we're simply going to create our block. Keep in mind in Drupal 6, in this first view, we're simply working with the default. We haven't actually created a display yet. But all we have to do now is click here, choose block, add display, make sure everything still looks like we expect. Let's click preview just to make sure, and that looks just fine. So let's go ahead and save this, and we're done with this view. So very quickly, we're going to go to Site Building, Blocks, and List. And if we scroll down to our disabled blocks, we see Events block. This is the block we just created for events. Let's place this in the left sidebar. And I think it's fine to go ahead and just leave that on the top. We'll save our blocks. And go back to the home page. And it looks like our block actually is appearing beneath our account, our administration menu. That's just fine. Really all we need this for is just to make sure that our block survived the migration. However, let's go back and edit this block one more time very quickly. And let's give it a title, just so it's a little bit easier to notice. I'm going to click Title None, go down here, and let's just type Events. And we'll update and override. Or in fact, we'll update the default display. Not that it really matters in our case. Save that. And here we go. That looks a little bit nicer. Events. And then we have each event and its date range. Now we have a view and a block, 2 in 1, that we can look at once we've finished migrating the site to Drupal 7 to make sure that we perform that part of the upgrade properly.